Hello and welcome back. We're just going to be doing a simple rocky beach scene. Could be a rocky cove, something like that. We're just going to start off with a simple sky, very simple. Keep it as simple as you possibly can. Don't try to be too precise, as I've said before in past watercolour demos. Just be as simple as possible. Okay, put the water on there. I'm just about to add some colour. Okay, just a little bit of cobalt blue, which I'm mixing up. And a tiny bit of, very tiny bit of light yellow. All right, so you can also dry your brush off, and you can run your brush through the sky, the blue a bit, just to give the impression of perhaps some distant cloud there. Right. That's all I really need for the sky. You don't want to overdo it. You don't want to muck around too much with it, because it'll look overworked if you do that. So that'll do for our sky. Okay, we've done the sky, and we're just going to do just a background, some background mountains or hills, perhaps mountains. Okay, that'll do for our background mountains. Okay, I just want to get some of this this light sand in here. This is a light yellow mixed with a tiny little bit also of yellow ochre. Yellow ochre is darker, a darker earthy tone. at that for now. Okay. I've got a mixture of cerulean blue, just cerulean blue actually, not a mixture. And I just want to, and then I'm going to sort of blend it into a bit of a turquoise colour as well, and maybe some Viridian green. I love the Viridian green, but you need to know where to use the Viridian green. So we're just going to bring some water through here at the base of these mountains here. I'm not worrying if I'm going over. I've got some rocks there. All right. So this is where I want to put a little bit of that Viridian green, but I'll start off with a bit of turquoise first, just a little bit, not overdoing it. Okay, that's pretty good. We might just put a little bit more texture just on the foreshore here. All right, so we've got some turquoise running through. We've got a little bit more darker cerulean coming through there, just a little bit. We've got some reflections on the water there. I've got a rock that I'll be putting in here soon, and we might start on that rock fairly soon. So I want I want a Payne's grey for this, and that water there is just a little bit wet, so I'm just going to leave it for a sec. I'll come back soon. Okay, just while we're waiting, we'll just put some impressions of some water movement through here. There we go. All right, as you can see, we've just swept through some colour there just to give the impression of some waves. And we're just going to put some Payne's Grey in here. Hopefully this is dry enough now. Nope, it's not dry enough. It doesn't matter. We'll just dab that with a tissue. Okay, that's all right. We've got to go over that anyway. Okay, we might just, while we're waiting for some of that water to dry, to do some of the tree. So we'll do this tree here in the background. Keep it simple. That'll do, that tree's just coming out from the side there. All right, we'll do some of these rocks now. Rocks can be a little bit tricky, a little bit hard to do, but we'll see how we go here. There's a little bit of violet in here. There's also a tiny little bit of Prussian blue. Continuing with these rocks in through here. Putting some shadow in areas there. Rocks, of course, aren't exact uniform things, so cool looking rocks, really, they are. Some of them are cool looking, some are warm looking. But I'm doing more of a cool looking rock. I might put a little bit of brown in through there, mixed with a little bit of yellow ochre. Yep. And just to give the impression a little bit more of rocks, you can get a store card or a credit card or something like that, and it'll just give some flat edges in through there. Okay, that's a good effect there. Careful not to overdo that. We'll just put a little bit more of this Payne's grey. Just up in there. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to start on some rocks in the distance here. Payne's grey. Over this area that we were trying to do before. Bit of tissue to bring that back a bit. That's good. And we'll put a little bit more darkness in one area there. That's okay. Just bring a tissue there, bring it back a bit. putting a bit of darker brown in just underneath these rocks here. That's okay. We're going to just put a little bit of that Payne's Grey, which is a really lovely colour. It's almost like it's a gun blue, a steely gun blue. It's not really blue, it's more of a grey, but it's got a blue tinge to it. That's pretty good. And we've got a couple more rocks that we want to put just in the middle here, but we don't want to overdo that. Just a hint. Okay, that's good. Now I promised I'd use some of this Viridian green just as a glaze over this area that's already dried. So I just want a bit of a glaze, just a fine colour. That's okay, I just want it to blend in. So I'll get a bit of a tissue here. I want it to blend in a little bit more, so just wipe that away there a little bit. Just the edges, just a bit. That's okay, that's good. All right, so that's just about done now. I'm pretty happy with that. We've got some nice rocks there. We might be able to put a little bit more shadow in one area there with those rocks, so we'll just see how we go in this one spot here. Really load that brush up. Just to accentuate a little bit more those rocks. That's really good. And again, we'll get our store card or credit card. We'll just wipe it through some of those areas to create some flat edges. That's good. And we might just put a little bit of texture, just very slight texture in here. Just some different coloured sand, just in some areas there. Tissues are always great. If you make a mistake, you can always that's pretty good. All right, so that's not too bad. We'll put a couple of birdies in the sky. Just a couple of birdies. Being careful not to put my hand on the painting, which is very awkward right here. That'll do. And we'll just sign it. Probably sign it over here somewhere. That's great. And now we'll just take the masking tape off and we'll give you a look. Here we go. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and the bell icon, all of that stuff. We're just growing this channel and I really do appreciate your support and watching this. We're learning together. And if you make a mistake, well, that's not the end of the world because we only learn by our mistakes. I make plenty of mistakes. I made a few doing this one. And by those mistakes, I've learned a little bit more. Just pull away from your paper. The thing is, try not to be too precise, but you know, as you get these techniques down, it tends to become more familiar to you. Okay, so that is our watercolour, bit of a cove there, some rocks in the foreground. You can use a credit card to scrape through and get some effects of the edges of the rocks. I use a Payne's grey in there and some brown. It's very loose watercolour. You can see some reflections there in the distance. Over here, you can see the rocks there, a little bit of reflection behind the rocks. You can see some water movement here, and of course a little bit of turquoise there, and a little bit of viridian green there, just to give the illusion of some more different colour of the water as it gets closer to the shore. Some different gradients of sand in there, some birds in the background, tree coming out from the side, and a very loose watercolour sky. So I hope you got something out of that. And as I said, we're learning together. We're making mistakes together, and we're having fun together and experimenting together as well. So thank you for joining me. I hope you can look at many more of my watercolour paintings as we do them together. Please subscribe to this channel and we'll have fun together. Thanks so much for watching.